Hello, this is Arian, your personal tutor, and today we'll be learning some Python. So, okay, so I just made a basic Google Slides presentation for y'all. So, in this Python tutorial, we'll be learning about input, output, and import, and we'll also learn a little bit about operators. So let's just understand these problems. Input means to get something from a user and put it inside your code and do it for your purpose and do something with it. Output means to show the user by using the print function, which we used in last tutorial. And import is just basically to access code from multiple modules, which is a whole bunch of different files of code which is written for you to access. So the project objective is that you can know these diverse concepts by the end of this video. The target audience is you, and now I'll explain the basic syntax. Okay, so I made a basic to-do list for us, and we'll be going in input, output, and operators. So we'll first start with input because I think that's the most important thing for us to learn. And let me just get this into dark mode because I like dark mode personally. So for input, what we need to do is we need to make the compiler store a function inside a variable. And how do we do that? A is equal to input. And this is where I'm going to write. But this function is where I get an input from the user. And how do I get it? I just write input. And if I want to make the compiler store this memory somewhere, I'm going to have to store it in A. And then I'm going to write, what is your age? So it's going to write, so I'm going to write 2. The mistake here is that I don't want this to come here. So I'm going to write, and guess what happens? It says, what is your age? And it gives a space, and when I write 2, it writes like that. So this is good. Let's just cross that off because we're done with that. So now let's just go to output. We can actually print A. We could actually get the input from the user and print it. Print A. We got this. And when we do this, we're going to say, what is your age? 5. And it's going to actually not store whatever I write in here. It's just going to store the integer 5. But it's actually stored as a string value. And how do I know that? I'm going to say print type A. 3. And it's going to be a class string. I do not want that because the next thing that we're going to be doing right now is operators. And operators are used with an integer value or a float value. And this is a little advanced for it right now and a little mind-boggling, but we need to cast this entire thing. How do we do it? We're actually gonna add parentheses around here because we want everything inside that's stored in here to be an integer value. I'll explain this in the next tutorial and how we're gonna, and we already did this, right? So if I just do this, 5. And it's going to say 5, and it's going to tell me it's an integer because I casted it. And now if I want to do anything like the operators I just told you about, I could say A is equal to A. The original, this is a new value for A, this is the old value for A, and I could write plus 5. I could write minus 5. If I want to get it multiplied, I could multiply it like this. And if I want to divide it, I could do it like this. And if I divide it and there's any remaining value and I want to see that remaining value, I'm just going to use something called a module. This is something called a module. And we could use this such as, if I write something as 5, it's going to actually print 0 because 5 divided by 5 is equal to 1. But the remainder is going to be 0. So it's going to actually print 0. And this new A is being printed, not this old A, mind you. Remember this. So we're done here. Now we're going to learn from import. Import is a very valuable thing that we could use. And how are we going to use it? We're going to basically write import. Mind you, this is a keyword. We're going to say import any library. But Google Colab comes with TensorFlow. So I'm going to write TensorFlow, which we'll learn later. And then if I don't want to write TensorFlow every single time, I'm going to say as. So whenever I reference TensorFlow, whenever I reference TF, I mean TensorFlow. So I'm going to write TF. And it understands everything. And if I want to check the version of this, just for some extra stuff, I could just write print out, show me whatever is in these brackets, and tf dot version. And if I write this, it's going to say 2.20. That's good for you to have that. I don't really care. This was just to teach you how import is and how it works and how you do stuff. So we've completed import now. I just wanted to leave some extra reminders is that if you have any questions, you can ask me. And please subscribe and like to grow this channel. And even if you don't like this video, you could dislike, unsubscribe for your own purpose. Thank you so much.